Oh no! Hello guys, how are you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly, and I guess this is a welcome back, but also a welcome to The Verdict. Now we have The Verdict on its very own channel, and these are a style of video I used to make back in the day, kind of finished in and around 2022, 2023 time, and I kind of just lost the passion for it, but I also wanted to mainly focus on IRL kind of football stuff, like their goal recreations and stuff like that you see on the main channel. But we're back, and we're back talking bollocks about football, so this is your one-stop shop for all the shite football talk that you're going to be looking for throughout the next however long I go until I get bored of this channel. We're going to be going back to doing match reactions like this, and we're going to be doing hopefully live streams and podcasts and short form stuff. Hopefully all of it goes to plan, and it'll be on this channel. So the League of Ireland, it's a fairly mental league, isn't it? What a round of fixtures it was tonight. I mean, last night by the time this video goes out, and I suppose there's only one place to really start, and it's of course the Dublin Derby, where once again Bohemians have got the better of Shamrock Rovers at Dalymount Park. A 2-0 win for Alan Reynolds' side, and it was goals from Dale Rooney and James Clark, both of which were in the first half at Dalymount Park. And I have to say, another really good win for Bohemians, and realistically, whatever is happening with them this season, Shamrock Rovers just can't seem to really crack them. And I think this is a big win for the league in a sense as well. Now, I've got nothing against Shamrock Rovers necessarily, but there was a fear over the last couple of weeks that looking at the way fixtures were going, and Rovers were kind of moving, I think they moved 10 or 11 points clear there at one point. The fear was that they were going to run away with it, and the league was going to become relatively boring as far as a title race goes, I guess. Pats and Shells have been well off it. They've dropped well off it in the last couple of weeks, and it's really been down to Drogheda and Bows to be the two teams to kind of keep on Rovers' tail. And thankfully, Bows won tonight by 2-0. A big win for them. And yeah, like I say, for whatever reason, Rovers just can't seem to crack them. I don't know if it's a case of Bows just being far more up for it in the derby, or it's just a tactics thing that Alan Reynolds has over Stephen Bradley. Although I did hear Alan Reynolds in a Virgin Media interview a couple of weeks ago saying that tactics are overrated, so maybe it's not that. But either way, I think it's a big win for Bows and a big win for the league in general, because like I said, Rovers were really threatening to run away with it there for a while, and it makes things a little bit more interesting again. Will Bows go and lose it now next week? I mean, probably. On to Shelbourne then, and the champions have had an eventful couple of days, I think it's fair to say. From Damien Duff walking off yesterday in just bizarre circumstances, walking away from his job, leaving Shelbourne on the morning of their training session before their game against Waterford this evening, and they've gone and picked up a draw in their first game in his absence. It was a 2-2 draw at the RSC, and it was a pair of Harry Wood goals in between goals from Horton and Podge Ammon. And a really good result, I guess, for Shells, in the sense of they didn't lose, which is a lot to be said for them these days. But Waterford have proved since John Coleman has come in that the RSC is not an easy place to come by any means. They've picked up some big results there, particularly since he's come in. And I do think it's probably well off it now for Shells to come back and mount any sort of title charge on Shamrock Rovers. But it is a step in the right direction, I think, nonetheless. But crazy scenes in amidst the Damien Duff departure yesterday, to go from that to play in 24 hours later. Not only that, they have a massive game, one of the biggest games in their recent history, I suppose. Shelbourne, they've got their Champions League qualifier coming up in a couple of weeks, and it's such a shock to see Duff, from what he's built, coming in from a team that was just promoted to a side that was made it for Europe, and then mounting a title charge and going on to win the title to qualify for the Champions League qualifiers, and he walks away a couple of weeks before that. It's bizarre timing, and he's definitely been known to be one to throw his toys out of the pram when shit goes south. However, I really didn't expect him to walk. I did think it was probably getting towards the end of its tether in a sense. I never thought Shells would sack him, and I always thought if there was ever going to be a departure, it would be him to walk rather than them pushing him out the door. But I just didn't expect him to do it now. Maybe if they dropped out of the Champions League potentially in the first round of qualifying, maybe, but bizarre one. But they got a draw tonight, so that's pretty good, I guess. In the rest of the games, Drogheda were held to a 1-1 draw with Cork City at Turner's Cross, which I guess would have been a good result for Cork had Sligo not beaten Galway in the Connacht Derby at the Showgrounds. And I was watching Cork against Shamrock Rovers on Friday night, and they looked absolutely miles off it. And Rovers didn't even have to play their best team, and they still beat them at an absolute canter. Like the likes of Aaron Green, McAneff, you know, Jack Byrne, Graham Burke. None of them even played the other night against Cork, and Cork still looked so poor. But it was a Janeiro Daniels equaliser for them. But what a win for Sligo. I mean, I got in a slight bit of trouble for slagging them off earlier on in the season, but I still think they're going to end up in that kind of relegation playoff game. But a huge win and a real setback for Galway. But speaking of setbacks, the final game was another setback for St. Pat's. They were beaten by 1-0 against Derry City at Richmond Park. And, you know, I think the troubles of Shelbourne has nearly kind of overshadowed how bad Pats have also been in recent times as well. And I also don't feel like Stephen Kenny is going to be sacked by Pats, because quite frankly, I don't think they can afford to do that, because I believe when he came back, he signed a pretty hefty contract. So it would be quite a big financial strain on Pats if they were to sack him. But they look absolutely miles off, and they've gone from a team that at the start of this season I was potentially looking at as being a title challenger at the very least. I think they have certainly the quality to do that, to a side now that's kind of just, you know, scrounging around in and around mid-table there. And Derry have come good. Derry have come good in the last couple of weeks. I think they're probably a little bit too far off the challenge for the title, but they're showing a bit more grit that we've come to know Derry for over the last couple of years. But another victory, an impressive one on the road as well for Derry City. And that's where we're going to wrap it up. The very first video on this channel. It feels good to be sitting down talking bollocks about football again. I mean, especially in this kind of long form stuff. I've been doing the shorter verdicts, which there still will be short videos on this channel as well, but expect a lot more of this. Hopefully some longer form kind of podcast stuff as well. We're not going to just keep it to League of Ireland either. Obviously we're in the off season of kind of the English Premier League as well. Chelsea videos will be coming back when the new season starts, and maybe we might have a few transfer videos here and there, but our League of Ireland is our sole focus at the minute. So if you're excited for this new channel, drop a like. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll chat to you next time. Take care and peace.